Alright, this is Andrew with Jordan Home Inspections. Today's August 20th, 2025, and we're doing a sewer scope here in Tooele. We're at 952 West, 470 South, and we have the camera pushed out 67 feet to the city connection. We're not seeing what's under the house. The only access point that I found was outside in the front yard, and so we're not seeing what's under the house, we're only seeing what's going through the yard. Right off the bat, a little bit of standing water here, enough that it's covering my camera head. It looks like it's just barely hovering around the height of my camera head. That indicates a little bit of poor grade through there. Not very long, which is better, but any sort of standing water is not ideal. And so that'll be something that we continue to pay attention to as we pull it back. I'm not seeing a lot of buildup on the line here, which is another good sign. This is plastic, this is PVC, which is similar to what they use on most new construction. You don't want to put wet wipes down the line, they can get stuck like that one. And I noticed that one as I was pushing the camera out because it was caught further up, and I dislodged it with my camera and it relieved some water that it was holding. And so you want to avoid using wet wipes. Starting to go underwater again at about 37 feet. And this is completely submerged. Starting to come out of it at 30. So about a 7-foot long belly. And that's the second one. That one's a little more significant. Covered my camera head completely. You can see a little bit of waste swirling around. Not ideal. At a minimum, I would recommend getting the insurance on the line, and that would help offset the cost if it backs up or if it needs to be dug up. HomeServe is a really common plan that you can get. And with HomeServe, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. Some people have had very good luck with them, and hopefully you would never need it, but some people have had issues and not had as good of luck. HomeServe is really good about cleaning lines, but especially when you have a belly, sometimes that can happen over and over, and they want to keep coming back to clean it because that's much cheaper for them than digging it up and fixing it, so it doesn't happen in the future. And that's kind of the downside of a belly, is the only way to fix it permanently is to dig it up and re-slope it. I would say these are on the more minor to moderate side, so definitely far from the worst that I've seen. It can be somewhat unpredictable how it'll perform for you, but I would always recommend asking the seller if they've had any backups or ever had to have the line cleaned or cabled, and that can be insightful, but just because they have or haven't doesn't mean that you'll have the same experience. It also looks like wet wipes have been put down this line, and so I would avoid putting any more down the line. That can cause issues. I'm going to end this recording now.